Discover the hidden side of Vietnam, where mystery and beauty meet. Every moment tells a story.
Walk through Vietnam at sunrise, and something quietly remarkable happens. Before the scooters roar, before cafes hum, the streets are already alive with an invisible orchestra. Metal ladles striking pots, steam drifting through narrow alleys, broth perfuming the morning air like a coded message. Breakfast here isn't just food. It's a living archive, a cultural heartbeat, a map drawn by history and hunger. Today, we decode the dishes that shape Vietnamese mornings. From legendary noodle bowls to ancient sticky rice rituals, these foods carry stories of war, migration, colonization, and reinvention. Once you understand them, you may never look at Vietnamese cuisine the same way again. Welcome to Vietnam Street Food Decoded. In Vietnam, breakfast isn't rushed. It's the ignition of the day. The social pulse that sinks millions of routines. People eat on sidewalks, under tamarind trees, at tiny plastic tables that look too small to hold such big flavors. And whether in Hanoi's cool mornings or Saigon's humid dawn, each city keeps its own culinary traditions alive, like precious family archives. 5 dishes stand as the pillars of Vietnamese breakfast culture, each born from a different chapter of the country's past. And we begin with the most iconic of them all. Pho looks deceptively simple. Noodles, broth, herbs, yet behind its calm surface lies over a century of adaptation and craft. Pho began in northern Vietnam in the early 1900s, when workers needed something cheap, hot, and sustaining. Beef, introduced through French colonial influence, was expensive. So Vietnamese cooks used leftover bones and scraps, transforming them through slow simmering alchemy into a fragrant, crystal-clear broth. 2 great traditions formed, pho ba with beef and pho ga with chicken. When Vietnamese people spread around the world, they carried pho with them as a cultural anchor, turning it into one of the planet's most recognized comfort foods. Yet the truest version remains on Vietnam's dawn-lit streets. Locals debate the best broths the way scholars debate ancient manuscripts. For travelers, tasting pho at sunrise feels like unlocking the country's memory.
Chào mừng quý khách đến với Việt Nam.
If pho is serene, banh mi is fearless. Born from the French baguette, it evolved into something that is unmistakably Vietnamese, a smaller, lighter, crispier bread that shatters gently when bitten. Inside, a wild symphony: pickled vegetables, herbs, chili, pate, grilled meat, eggs, sardines. The product of a country that refused to simply adopt foreign food, but instead transformed it into a national masterpiece. Banh mi became the handheld heartbeat of southern Vietnam, and decades later, a global icon. Today, you can find it in Paris, Sydney, California, and Seoul. But its soul remains here, on the streets where it began.
Come and try with me.
Before colonial rule, before street carts and gas stoves, Vietnam was shaped by rice, sticky rice. Xôi is one of its oldest foods. It was survival during famine, sustenance for farmers, and a ritual offering for countless ceremonies. Xôi is food in its most elemental form. Carries no liquid, packs energy, fits into a banana leaf, and can feed a laborer for half a day. Across the country, you'll find sweet, savory, colorful, and ceremonial versions, each echoing the agricultural roots of Vietnamese civilization. Xôi reminds modern Vietnam where it came from.
Muốn ăn loại nào? Cho tôi một phần xôi màu tím này nhé.
Bánh Cuốn is morning poetry, a thin sheet of rice batter. Steamed until translucent, folded gently around minced pork and mushrooms. It is topped with crispy shallots, and served with bright, fragrant fish sauce. The process is mesmerizing. Steam rising like morning mist, hands moving quickly. The batter spreading across cloth like liquid silk. Born in northern villages, perfected over generations, Banh Cuốn represents elegance shaped by humble ingredients. Travelers often compare it to crepes, but that comparison falls short. This is a dish that exists only in Vietnam's culinary language. While Hanoi wakes with pho, Saigon rises with Cơm Tấm. Once considered poor people's food made from broken rice fragments left during milling, it evolved into a dish that defines the city's bold, improvisational spirit. Today it is a feast. Smoky grilled pork chops, shredded pork skin, steamed egg meatloaf, pickles, scallion oil, and golden fish sauce drizzled like a final signature. Cơm Tấm is now for everyone. Students, office workers, food critics, even chefs searching for inspiration. If pho is Vietnam's soul, Cơm Tấm is its swagger. Before we continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever tasted a dish so simple, yet so alive, that it felt like the story of an entire country lived inside it? If you have, then you already know why Vietnamese breakfast matters. If you haven't, this series is your doorway. Share your questions or your own food memories in the comments. I truly enjoy reading them, and they help guide the next episodes. These 5 dishes, pho, bánh mì, xôi, bánh cuốn, Cơm Tấm, are not only breakfast. They are the record of Vietnam's journey, the resilience of farmers, the creativity born during scarcity, the spirit that turned hardship into innovation. To decode Vietnamese street food is to understand the people behind it. Practical, inventive, rooted in history, yet fearless in reimagining the future. If you ever find yourself wandering through Vietnam at sunrise, follow the aromas. Somewhere behind the steam, a story is waiting for you to taste. And if this episode helped you understand Vietnam a little better, I hope you'll stay with this journey. Every like, every share, and every subscription helps this channel grow into a home for curious souls who want to explore Vietnam through the stories behind its food. Your support means more than you realize. This is Vietnam Street Food Decoded, and this is how Vietnam begins its day.
Do not forget to like and subscribe to catch the next stories.